Okay, today we're going to talk about subtracting rational numbers in the other class. We're on 1-4. So first of all, I think it's pretty obvious, but it's good review. Minuend minus the subtrahend equals the what, class?
The dividend.
The difference, all right? The difference, all right? In a subtraction problem, minuend minus the subtrahend equals the difference. So we're going to talk about subtracting. If you look at example 1, there's 3 examples there kind of given to you. Addition is pretty easy, and I think we get that. We realized that from our sticky note, we had 2 headings. One was the same, the other one was what?
Different.
Different. So if 2 numbers are the same and we're adding them, if 2 numbers are the same sign, we add them and we keep the sign. If they're different, we subtract them and we keep the sign of the what number, remember?
The bigger.
The bigger, the larger number. All right, well, are we going to use that? Yeah, you bet we will. We're going to use that in this lesson as well. But what we've got to do with subtraction is think a little bit differently, okay? And the way I want you to think is this. If we have a number that's 2 plus 5, all right, we know that it's from our sticky note, same sign, so what do? We add, all right? Those are okay. But now, what we're going to end up doing is some of these problems here. The one thing I want you to remember is 2 minuses right in a row, in succession of each other, is a plus, okay? So what we're really saying, in fact, your book goes on to say it, and probably take a look here at the top under the definition. The equation is read A minus B equals A plus the opposite of B. So what we're really doing is we want to think positive, all right? And when we think positive, here's how we're going to do it. All right, I'll show you. First of all, minus minus, all right, is a plus. So that means we rewrite this problem as 4 plus 2, and we know that's what, class?
6.
That's 6. And every time we have a minus minus in succession like that, it's a plus. In fact, if we have an even number of minuses, we will have a plus. If we have an uneven number, we would have a what?
Negative.
A negative all the time. Because, look at this problem here. We'll do this one later. But see the 3 minuses here? All right? This minus makes this. It's the what's the opposite of a negative 7? A 7, right? Okay, well, here's another minus. Minus means opposite of. Minus, or the opposite of a positive 7 would be a negative or positive 7, right? Okay, so what ends up happening is these 2 make it negative. I'm sorry, this would make it positive or negative. I'm sorry. All right, so 1, 2, 3, uneven number of negatives is a negative. All right, this is negative 7. This makes it a positive 7. This makes it a negative 7. So if I had 16 negative signs in front of a number, it would be what? Positive or negative?
Positive.
It'd be positive because it's even. All right? But if I had an uneven number, if I had 5 negative signs in front of a 3, because it's an uneven number, it's going to be a negative, okay? So just remember that. You'll get the hang of it, and you'll see more of those. You'll see some negatives in your homework, and you'll know that it's a positive, okay? Now, this here, negative 3 minus 2. Here's how I want you to think, okay? I need you to think in such a way where everything in the world is positive and that every subtraction problem is really a addition problem, okay? And in this particular case, this would really be written as 4, all right, plus a negative 2, all right, in a way. Well, this problem is written as a negative 3 plus a negative 2. Okay? Now let that sink in for just a minute. All right? Every negative problem is really positive. In fact, if I took the number 3 minus 2, I want you to think of it as this. What are we going to put in there?
Plus.
A plus. 3 plus a negative 2. And the last number is usually in parentheses. Okay? You say, Mr. Graves, why in the world would I complicate a problem that's 3 minus 2, and you put a plus in it, then you add an extra set of parentheses, and it's messing me up? Oh, wait a minute. The reason I'm doing that is because as we work these problems, now I go to my sticky note, okay? Is this the same sign or different signs?
Different.
Different signs, okay? What do we do with different? Subtract. So 3 and 2, the difference is 1, right? What's the sign of the larger number though? All right, it's positive. So the answer is positive. We say, Mr. Graves, I can look at 3 minus 2 and tell you it's 1. Okay, I didn't need to go to my sticky note. That was something I already knew. Okay, well, while that's true, it helps to explain the process of where we're getting our answers from when we run into problems that are longer and so forth. Okay, so just hang on to that and we'll be using it. Okay, so a -3 plus -2. All right, now since we put that plus in there, is this same sign or different?
Different.
No, same sign or different? It's the same, right? So because it's the same, we add the two numbers and we keep the sign. So the answer is a -5. Okay? Now, 2 minus 5. We would theoretically write 2 minus 5. Remember, every subtraction problem is really a addition problem. So we don't say 2 minus 5, we say 2 what? What do we put right up? Plus
-5.
-5, and then we solve it. Okay? So, different sign, we subtract, okay? And when we do, 5 minus 2 is 3. What's the sign of the larger number? Good, so it's a -3. That's our answer. Now you say, Mr. Reeves, I can look at 2 minus 5 and I can know that. In fact, in this way or in this way, I can see that I'm at 2 right here. Okay? But when I go back left or right, what does minus mean on a number line? Left or right?
Negative.
It means left, doesn't it? I go left how many?
5.
Okay, 2's my origin, 2's positive. I go back 5, meaning that I go back 2 here to get me to 0, but I go back 3 more, don't I? That makes 5. Well, that's where I get my -3 at, because that's where I end up landing, right? Okay? So these give you an idea. So all day long, 4 minus 1 is the same as 4 plus a -1, okay? Now, yes, do the problem. You don't need to rewrite it when you got a simple problem like that. But problem 7 minus 14 is equal to 7 plus a -14. Then I end up using my thing, all right? Now, as you're gonna get better at this, you're gonna get faster at it, you've got homework that you'll end up doing, and you kind of get the hang of how things are working. And sometimes the minus can be a little confusing, but it doesn't have to be, okay? Now, take a look at this one here. We're gonna now, remember in that last lesson, we had decimals and fractions. I know that didn't make you real happy sometimes, okay? Well, here we have a decimal, don't we? All right, a minus problem. So, if 3 minus 7 is equal to 3, what's the sign? Plus a -7, right? What would this problem look like? 39.27 what?
Plus
Plus a what?
-1.
A -112.6. Now, as I see that problem from 1-3, same sign or different?
Different.
It's different. So am I adding or subtracting?
Subtracting.
I'm subtracting. So don't worry about the signs. Let's just write it and do it. 112.6 minus 39.27. I have to add a 0, don't I?
Yep.
Okay? When I add a 0, I gotta borrow. That's 5. That's 1, 3, 3. Gotta borrow. There's 3, 0, 10, 7. All right. Whoop. Yeah, 7. 73.33. Okay? So we subtracted the problem. Why do we subtract? Because one's positive, one's negative. Now, which is the larger number? 112 or 39? Which one's larger? 112 or 39? I'd rather have $112.60. Right, okay? So $112 is bigger. All right? What's the sign in front of it?
Negative.
Negative. So this is my answer. It's negative 73.33, not positive. Don't write it as positive 73.33. You're going to get a -1 in your homework. You don't want that. Finish the problem, make sure you do it right, okay? Here's another one, all right? What did I tell you minus means?
Addition.
It's plus, right? Minus cancels out, and it's plus. So 14.682 plus 2.39, we need to add our 0 there, right? Okay? So So what are we doing? We line up our decimals when we add and subtract, and then we add and subtract, hopefully carefully, and we do a good job. This is 2, 17, 10, 7, 1, all right? 17.072, hopefully I did that right.
Yeah.
Okay, 70 was just a simple decimal problem. Don't let decimals scare you, don't let fractions scare you. All right, here's another one. Negative 3/4 minus 2/3. Oh, it's a subtraction problem. We said it, we want to make what in life? Everything what?
Addition.
Positive. So what are we going to do? We're going to rewrite it as negative 3/4 plus a what? Negative 2/3, right? Okay? Both signs, both numbers are what? Negative, same sign. So what do? We add, don't we? You guys can add two fractions. So now, don't let the negative scare you. We just add it. So we just write it like this: 3/4 plus 2/3. Now, when we get an answer, what's the answer going to be though? We keep the sign, don't we? Negative, okay? So 4 and 3.
12.
Least common denominator. Probably a 12, right? All right. 4 goes into 4 times 1 is 12. 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 9 plus 8, 17 12, and it's negative. That's our answer. I do not need you to put it as a mixed number. Just leave it in proper 17 12. So if you write a negative 1 and 5/12, you know what I'm going to do to your problem, your homework? I'm going to count it right, okay? Because it's the answer. Okay? So you can leave it like that if you want, or you can leave it a mixed number. Either one's fine. It's just that when you have this problem and you turn it into improper, sometimes you end up getting the problem wrong doing that. So let's try not to do that, okay? All right, last one. What's a minus minus? Right here. That's a plus, right? So if you do that, is it same or different? It's different. That means what do I do to the fractions? I have to add or subtract it. What do you know? I subtract 3/32 and 5/8. Okay? I'm subtracting them. Least common denominator, 32, right? Okay? 32. This is probably going to stay as what? 3. Okay? 8 times 1 gives me 32. 4 times 5? 20. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter whether it's top or bottom. I just know that I'm going to subtract them. So what is 20 minus 3? 17. So 17 over 32. The sign is going to be determined by the larger number. Well, if I just look 3 over 32 and 20 over 32, which would be bigger?
20 over
The 20 over 32 would be, right? Because the 20 over 32 is just a little bit past half, all right? Because of the numerator. And that answer is negative, all right? Or that number is negative. So negative 17 over 32, okay? So what do you need to know? You need to remember, minuses are plus, and then we work the problem. We take the plus. Everything is positive, okay? Everything's positive. Train your mind in these early sessions or early lessons for you to remember that 3 minus 8 is the same as 3 plus a negative 8. And then use your sticky note and follow your rules, okay? And then over here, let me erase this. Okay, we're doing a long one and we're done, okay? Let's simplify. Absolute value of negative 3. Anything in those lines is positive, right? 3, what's minus minus?
Plus.
Plus 4. Plus a negative 2, we'll keep that. Plus 9, and we said all of this was what?
Plus.
Negative 7, minus 7. Which really means a positive negative 7, right? Same thing. Okay, we're good? All right, so let's do it. 3 plus 4, same sign, that's 7. 7 plus a negative 2 plus 9 plus a negative 7. All right? What's 7 plus a negative 2? Different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the larger. 5, good. 5 plus 9 plus negative 7. What's 5 plus 9? 14, same sign. Okay, ooh.
7.
Opposite sign, subtract, keep the sign of the larger. Answer is 7, okay? Line by line, follow your rules. Any questions? All right, we're good. All right, thank you.